Well, I'm back with my onion juice 2-month video. For those of you that have been following me, you know how I make the onion juice without it smelling funky. You know what my results were after 1 month of using onion juice. And if you haven't been following, then I suggest going back and watching those videos so you can catch up and catch a glimpse of my progress. But just to recap, I did the onion juice experiment just to see if it would help with some of the postpartum hair shedding as well as hair growth, because I've heard it does really wonderful things for hair growth. And if you watched my previous video, I did have some good results there. Also, once I knew how to get rid of that smell of the onion, it was game on, because I was not trying to leave the house smelling like French onion soup. Oh my goodness, no, 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 no. So in this video, I'm going to discuss some of my setbacks, if I've made changes to the recipe, and also, of course, show you the before and after photos of my hair length, and of course, the shedding bags. I have kept them all. 2 months of shedding bags right here. So stick around for the scoop. So before I dive into the setbacks, let me just talk about the recipe. In the beginning, I was making it with, I think, 1 onion, lots of water, boiling it for 5 minutes, and then steeping it for, I don't know, until it cooled down. And then I added 2 onions, less water. I just did a bunch of little variations of it, and the one that stuck and I did for the next month was just the 2 onions with a lot less water. Like I said, go back to the previous videos and you'll see how I made it. I thought about doing the blend method. I thought about adding garlic. I thought about all these other things, and then I just got lazy and the holidays started coming up and it didn't happen. So I just stuck with the old recipe. I also asked a lot of you if I should even continue this, because I just felt like I really need a trim. You guys know this already. It's been 2.5 years. This is getting ridiculous. I have made my appointment. That is the good news, all right? But my appointment is really, really far away, and I'm very concerned with how my hair is going to be in a couple months here. So I believe one of the main reasons I have had setbacks is because I desperately need that trim, all right? I've said it a million times. I'm sick of talking about it. Here I am still talking about it, but it's happening soon. That's the good news. Because I really need this trim, if I don't stay consistent on the amount of days I wash my hair, like I have to wash my hair like every 3 to 4 days maximum, or else it's a disaster. Like the detangling is so bad and the shedding is so excessive, like to where I'm like, what's wrong with me? Is something wrong? Just so you all know, I went and got blood work done from my doctor. I went to check. I know a lot of you are concerned about like, it could be this hormone, this and that. I got so many blood tests done and it's not my hormones, all right? So that kind of made me feel better. I mean, there's other stuff going on, but like, it's not my hormones, which I was like, oh, it could be just the postpartum shedding I'm still experiencing. I know some people say it lasts longer than a year, but I also, like I said, really need that haircut. So if I'm not detangling my hair every 3 or 4 days, it's like balls of hair are coming out, okay? And that is not cute. So one of the major setbacks I had was during the week of Thanksgiving. I had to travel with my 2 kids, and I was by myself. I didn't have my husband with me. And this hair was in a bun like all week long. Like I didn't even have time to like try to wash it. It was not even happening until he got there. So that was like a solid 6-7 days of not washing my hair. And that was when I did my first detangling session and saw like this giant ball of hair come out. And I'm like, well, what just happened here? Because I had like this much hair loss and now I have like this much hair loss. So it was pretty excessive. I also didn't do onion juice that week at all. That was the big kicker. I did not use the onion juice because I didn't feel like making it on my vacation. I didn't want to. I was like, I don't want to do this right now, so I didn't. One thing I did do was continue using my Olaplex No. 3 Hair Perfector. If you guys haven't seen that video, definitely check that out. I had some really amazing results from it. It gave me crazy shrinkage and it really revived the like health of my curls. They are springier. One interesting thing I heard about Olaplex No. 3 is that it does help with a reduction of shedding. And I feel like I noticed that the first two times I used it, but that third time I used it was during the week of Thanksgiving, and it had just been too long. It had been like 6-7 days, like I said, and that's just too long. If I wait that long, I just have way too much hair fall. So all of those combinations, not getting my hair trimmed, not doing the onion juice that week, waiting too long to wash my hair. I mean, I just had this giant ball of hair come out, and I honestly don't know what to say about this experiment anymore. I don't think it's really worth it for me to do it. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I feel like until I actually get a healthy trim, I can't say anything. I can't tell you that this is actually working for me or not, because I think it helps a little bit. I do. But the hair shedding part, I cannot tell if it's just from the haircut. I know now it's not from the hormones, but now I'm just very concerned that if I just got a little haircut really quick, I bet you would see like nothing coming out of the brush, because that's usually what happens for me. Either way, I'm going to show you the before and afters and show you my little shedding bags here. I'll even clip to another video of me with my wet hair on my last use of onion juice, so you can see exactly how long it is. We'll see that in a minute. Let's check out these bags. Let's start with the first bag, 1010. Can you see this? You know, there's a glare, so let me take these out, okay? And I'll put them against my hand. This is 1010. This is the very first wash day with onion juice, okay? All right, that's about what I was losing before. And then the next bag, 1014. It's just a lot less. You probably can't tell much, but let's go ahead and skip over to November, because that's where I started the second month. So let's go over to 11/7. I think that might have been where I left off. You're not gonna be able to see these, are you? Okay, so 11/7. This is when it was getting really good. Very, very little, very little. And then 11/16 was even less. The next one's even less, and then it starts getting ridiculous. Yeah, this is right before Thanksgiving, and I was like, oh, hell yeah. Yes, this was like, okay, this is what I'm used to. This is the kind of hair shedding I'm used to with a healthy trim. So I was pretty happy about this. Let me hold on to this and show you next week. This is 8 days later. I guess I waited longer than I thought. What in the world? Look at this. That is more than the beginning stages. That is what happens if I wait. That's what happens. I'm trying to like not drop the hair on the floor. That's a huge difference. Ridiculous. And the next week looks very similar to it. I think it might even be more. 12/5 was the last one. I mean, that's a lot of hair. Yeah, so after that day, I said, I'm done with this. I'm not doing this anymore. This doesn't make any sense to do unless, of course, I had a hair trim. That's a different story. I would be like, okay, it's working. Okay, now I'm going to show you the clip from the last day I used the onion juice, which is 12/5. You'll see the length from the front and the back, and I'll also show you some before and after photos. Okay, so I'm in my kitchen, and I thought this would be a good time to show you how long my hair's been after using the onion juice for 2 months. The way I've been doing it is just kind of finding the longest piece, and I'm pulling all of my hair forward, and I'm just going to kind of stretch it down past my chest here and see where it lands. And the lowest point seems to be right here, almost to the bottom of my rib cage, but not quite. It's a little bit above. So I'll have to try and find a video of me doing this and do a side-by-side comparison so you can really see if it helped grow my hair. Now let me turn around and I will show you from the back. I mean, the longest piece seems to be right here. So I thought I'd do a side-by-side comparison of day 1 to day 60, 2 months in. From the left, you can see that my hair is a little thinner towards the ends. Day 60, 2 months later, my hair is dramatically longer. It even looks a little bit curlier the mid-shaft down. I'll get into that in a minute. And now I'm showing you day 1, day 30, and day 60. If you compare just day 30 and day 60, it almost seems like day 30 looks a little bit longer than day 60. But what I believe you're seeing is the result of using Olaplex after the first month. So I'm seeing a lot of shrinkage from about the mid shaft area down to my ends. It looks about the same. I think my curls look a little bit more clumped as well. So there is a little bit of a noticeable difference, but you can't really tell that there is hair growth. I think if I didn't do Olaplex, it may have looked a little bit more stretched and longer, but because I did do it, it looks about the same length. Well, that's gonna wrap up this video. I'd love to get your feedback on my results. I don't plan on continuing this. I'm sorry for those of you that really want to see it, but I just think it's a waste of time. As long as my hair is in the condition it is, I need to get a hair trim. Period. All right. I don't think I should do any more of these types of experiments, until I get that hair trim, because I just feel like the shedding's a little too crazy and I need to see what's going on after I get this trim. I would like to know if any of you have been trying the onion juice experiment. Let me know how it worked out for you down below in the comments. That's about it for this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.